All right, it's a bit of a gloomy day in Pennsylvania, but let's work on some bonsai. All right, so today we have my acacia tree. So this is one of 4, I believe, that I have. And all of those acacias are about 1 year and 6 months, all of which I've grown from seed. I got them as part of a bonsai kit from my sister-in-law in December of 2022. And I put them in soil pretty much the day after Christmas. So the other ones are doing pretty well, but this one has always been kind of small, and I think it's because of the pot that it's in. The pot's way too small, so I'm going to take it out of the pot, and I think I'm going to do a pretty daring cut on this. Now, if you look towards the center of this tree, around the middle of the trunk here, you can see that there's a lot of little buds starting to pop up, and I'm thinking I'm going to do a really hard cut and prune this back basically to a stick in a pot. So we're going to do a repot on this, and we're going to do a hard prune. So let's get at it. Oh man, I almost feel bad cutting back all of this nice foliage. But I think we're going to do a prune right above these little buds here. So let's dive in close and do a cut. Here we go. Just like that. Woo! Yeah, that's a lot of tree we cut off there. But for the good of the tree, I think it'll be fine, and this will probably make a nice little cutting. I'll cut off some of this foliage here and put it in some soil, and we'll see what'll come of that. So now this, let's get this out of the pot. Let's do this. All right, here we go. Look at that little baby pot. As cute as it is, doesn't do this tree much good. So let's get this thing out. Easy peasy. Nice clean takeout there. Now it looks like we got a lot of roots on the bottom here. Not so much here, so let's just work away at this soil and clean it up a bit. All right, I think that'll do for now. So let's clean this up a little bit, and I'll be right back. All right, so now we have our nice clean roots here. You can see there's this long snake-like root here that goes all the way up and down and all the way here. So what I think I want to do is I want to cut right here and get rid of this long taproot and just leave the little bit of roots that are up here, because I think it'll be fine with just these roots here. So let's do this. So basically this thing's getting 2 large cuts today. It got the one big cut up there. Now it's going to get a large taproot cut. So here we go. All right. And I think that's enough of a root structure going on there. That should be fine. Let me just get some of these long wispies away. There we go. We'll stick with that for now. Maybe we'll even get a root cutting from this. Not too sure, but maybe. All right, let's get this in some soil. And so the pot I'm going to use is this plastic pot. Just a little pot that I got on Facebook Marketplace a few months ago. So yeah, let's pot up this tree in this pot. And of course, first up, we need our drainage screens here. Now, I'm not sure how anybody else does it, but about 8 months or so ago, I bought a large roll of window screen, and that's what I use for my drainage screen. So I don't know if this shows up on camera, but there's this long roll of drainage screen, pretty thick. I would say, I think this is probably like 10 foot by 3 foot, something like that. And I just cut little pieces off to use for my drainage screens. I think I paid like 10 bucks for it, and it's definitely worth it. So that's how I do mine. I just cut the screens into place, and it seems to work pretty well. So now let's get some soil in there. But before we do that, let us get our mask on, because we do not want to breathe in any of the dust particles from the bonsai soil. So now that I'm all masked up, let's get some soil in there. All right, I think that will do it. So this soil's a little wet. I think I don't think my container was completely shut when I had it outside, but doesn't matter because it's gonna get wet now because we're gonna water it up. So let's do that now. There we go. Alrighty, there we go. And now I just took the root cutting and I pruned it up a little bit, and I think I'm gonna have it go in the soil on a kind of weird angle like this, just kind of straight up and down like that, and see what happens with it. Just something fun. So I have that right there, and I also have this, the top part of the tree that we cut off earlier, and I'm just gonna snip off some of these leaves here because we don't want all that stuff on there. So now that we have our regular cutting and we have our root cutting, let's get some pots. And I have this pot right here and this little pot here that we're gonna use. So this is about half bonsai soil and half the soil that was in this pot previously. So we're just gonna stick this one right in there. I don't know where my rooting hormone is at the moment, so I'll put that in there eventually. But we got that going in there. And then for this one, we're just going to make a little hole there. And allow that to get in there. There we go. We got our little cuttings. Maybe they'll take, maybe they won't. Either way, it's just bonus stuff. So there we go. We'll check these out in the future. All right, and here is our little stick in a pot. So it may not look like much right now, but I'm pretty sure that this thing's gonna grow well for me. I don't think I root pruned it too much, but I did pretty much the same thing on one of my other acacia trees, and it's doing great right now. So I think it'll be okay. I think that's all we'll do on this one today. So I'll come back to this in a couple months and give a little update. So until then, thanks for watching.